The Yutu landing represents a major step forward for China's space program. Earlier, I spoke to Ryan Faith from the Space Foundation and asked him about how the rest of the world was reacting to the lunar probe successfully landing on the moon.
The global reaction has actually been very, very positive. Foreign news outlets have been very excited and very supportive of the whole effort.
And what exactly will it be doing and the probe known as the Jade Rabbit be doing?
The primary purpose of the mission is really technology development with a very strong scientific supporting mission. The lander that they've built is enormously large, so it's an advanced model of what they're going to be launching in about 5 years. The instruments on the rover itself are basically going to be doing a lot of examination of the soil and the subsurface structure, which will be very important if China ever wants to build a lunar base.
Okay. And what about the U.S. and Russia and other large countries that really prided themselves on space exploration? Should we be somewhat intimidated by this?
Well, Russia is actually resuming their lunar exploration program later this decade. The last people to land anything on the moon was in 1976, were the Soviets. They're starting again, but the U.S. currently doesn't have any plans to return to the lunar surface.
Okay. And what about international space exploration? What does this mean for this?
There's been a sustained effort by a number of space agencies to start discussing what their plans are for the next 20 years, and nobody's made any formal commitments, so it's a very much of an early framework discussion. And this recent lander fits in with the timetable that's been discussed internationally. So while there aren't formal international plans for cooperation now, this might ultimately lead to some more substantial forms of cooperation.
Why has China sort of held back until now?
China's starting in 1992 is when this sort of new burst of space activity started, and they've been very, very methodical, very much on time, and they've had no real large failures in any of their exploration efforts. So I think what they're trying to do is avoid. It's sort of the story of the tortoise and the hare, is that they're going very steady in a way that's helping their cause a lot.
And it's been quite a while, 20 years or more, since they have done something like this.
Well, they did 2 orbiter missions about 5 years ago,
Okay.
and that was their first lunar missions at all. And so they're going to probably complete 1 more rover mission, and then in 5 years do 2 sample return missions. And then I'm thinking that's probably going to put them on track to do an astronaut to the lunar surface about 2026, maybe, somewhere in that time frame. The big thing is that they're starting off from a much higher technological base than we were in the 60s when we did this. The second thing is that the U.S. kind of landed on the moon with the Apollo program, and once astronauts were there, we didn't really know what else to do or where to go from there. The Chinese effort really does give all the hallmarks of being a very steady, persistent, there-to-stay approach. The way that they've approached technology development, the way that they've steadily built from one generation to the next, it's sort of, that one parent's situation allows their child to grow up and be more successful, and then the child themselves can, carry this further forward. And it's a very steady, methodical approach that the U.S. could really learn a lot from.
Ryan Faith, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thanks.